Hello everybody, welcome to the Empressive channel. Recently, Nicki Minaj's home was swatted, and this is not the first time her home was swatted. It's actually the third time, and it's becoming a bit disturbing at this point. Now, according to the story, somebody made a false 911 call. The caller claimed that there was a shooting at her home, and the police arrived and found no evidence of such crime. And Nicki Minaj was not home, thankfully. But imagine if she was. She and her family could have been possibly targeted by the police. And this is not the first time this has happened. Back in June 2023, there was a false report of child abuse at her home. And also a month later, there was a false report of another shooting. And according to the report, this has been a growing problem in the Southern California area, and several celebrities have been victims of swatting calls. But Nicki's home has been swatted multiple times, and they still haven't been able to find the culprit. And this is very strange to me. It is, because how are people allowed to get away with this? And why hasn't the culprit been caught? It's just really weird, and it feels eerie. It feels like somebody is trying to get at her. Now, some people are saying that her house got swatted because somebody was mad that Billboard named her the #1 female rapper. I don't know if that's the case, but I do think that something is very weird about this situation. And I do hope that Nicki and her family stay safe. And she definitely should consider moving if she hasn't already. Now, moving on, I want to get into this whole drama involving the reality star Kenya Moore getting fired from the show Real Housewives of Atlanta. Now, just to give a backstory, Kenya has been feuding with one of the newer castmates on the show named Brit Eady. And Brit is an unlikable castmate. I mean, she came in trying to have a moment with Kenya. She's been provoking her and was trying to create an issue with her for no reason at all. It's obvious that Brit came on with the clear motive to be the season's villain. She wants to be the talk of the show the way that Nene Leakes was and Kenya Moore was. She wants to be the next RHOA star. That's really what it is. And so in her mind, in order for her to be Queen Bee, she has to come for the real Queen Bee, which is Kenya Moore. Now, Kenya wasn't paying Brit any mind, but Brit kept antagonizing her. And this is actually what started their feud.
The answer is yes. I can speak to everyone kindly without an attitude. I think I have.
Yeah, but we're talking about me, sweetheart.
Okay.
What do you mean, why? I have the floor, baby.
Okay, you want a moment. Have your moment.
This is not a moment.
Yeah, it's a big moment for you.
You're having a moment. Do you need to step out?
I am a moment. I can speak to everyone.
This wasn't about everyone. You want me to read it again?
Everyone kindly.
Would you like for me to read it again?
I'm not going to play these childish games. Peasants cannot come forward, queen.
Now, the thing that took this feud to another level was when Brit threatened Kenya. She threatened to pull out her pistol on her.
I still got my pistol, so I'm sure. Kenya, her little ditzy ass. Like, I don't play them games. I got whip, pistols, everything. You gonna be respectful. No peasants.
So Brit's delusional self was the one who picked a fight with Kenya, and Kenya called her a peasant and dismissed her. And now she's getting mad and she's threatening her with her guns. That is crazy. Now, to Brit's credit, she did try to apologize to Kenya, but Kenya brushed it off because you know Kenya, she's not going to let that slide. And at that point, I don't think Kenya was really using her common sense. She was more so thinking with her reality show villain mind. And she wanted to retaliate, but also create good TV in the process. But this is actually what caused her to lose her job. She blew up some very explicit photos of Brit. She had another board claiming she did insurance fraud. And also she claimed that she was an escort and she was sending lewd photos to Yo Gotti.
Britney does escort. There's an IG who covered emails out of that. She charges $1,400 for appointment. You not only a hoe, you a chick. You on covers of magazines, being a thigh. You over here on Snapchat. Your Gotti was like, Snapchat me that pussy in the meeting.
So who is this hoe? Brit Eady is her name. Then they kept sending me information. That's some nasty words.
Oh my God. Hey,
Ain't nobody trying to see this girl sucking nobody's dick. That is just so crazy.
Yeah, that's a lie. No, it ain't too far. She threatened with me with a gun. Don't tell me it's too far.
Honestly, Kenya did take it too far, and it's not like she was completely in the wrong because Britney started with her first. Britney threatened her. But Kenya did not have to blow up pictures of that girl giving head. I mean, that is crazy, and that's also illegal. Now, one of the castmates on the show, Portia, did allege that those pictures of Brit were actually when she was underage, allegedly. I don't know how true that is, but if it is true, that makes the situation a lot worse. Kenya didn't think this thing through. I mean, I know she wanted to retaliate and make a big splash this season, but it just backfired horribly. And little does she know is she got outsmarted by a newbie. Brit literally set the trap up for Kenya, and Kenya fell right into it, and she got tricked out of her spot. And the executive producer of the show, Andy Cohen, is siding with Brit. He fired Kenya. And it is possible that he fired her because he doesn't want to pay her that huge salary that she was reportedly making. So he could have used this situation as an excuse to get rid of her. Also, it's possible that Brit might have been threatening legal action and she wanted Kenya off the show.
But there's a housewife that's still on the show right now that went several times to try to get Kenya fired.
I don't know if she was talking about Brit or not, but I wouldn't be surprised if she was. And it's really messed up because Brit was the one who threatened Kenya. And I'm wondering why she wasn't let go from the show, or at least demoted. It just seems like Andy is showing clear bias here, and I can understand why Kenya is furious because she's the only one being punished. However, this doesn't excuse what Kenya did. She should have never showed those pictures of Brit. I mean, that was very tasteless and very disgusting, and it was low. Kenya should have never stooped that low. She's very clever. She could have come up with better ways to get back at Brit. But I think Kenya wanted to create a reality show moment, and that moment backfired. Like I said, she just didn't realize that she allowed herself to get tricked out of her own spot. Now there's another plot line brewing because people are wondering who on earth gave Kenya those explicit photos of Brit Eady. Portia alleged that it was one of the housewives on the show.
I know for a fact that one of these housewives who is still on the show is the one who gave Kenya a big part of that nude information.
Kenya did come out and deny this and said absolutely no one on the show gave me anything. Stop using my situation for clickbait. Now, it might not have been an actual housewife who gave Kenya that information about Brit, but it was rumored that the reality star Ming Lee was the one who gave Kenya that information. And this was first alleged by Jessie Wu.
When Kenya says that she had a private investigator, the private investigator allegedly was Ming. And that is because her and Brit, for whatever the reason, for whether it be Rick Ross or whatever, they don't get along.
And Brit did confirm that Ming told her on a drunken night that she had explicit photos of her saved on her phone in case of a rainy day. So she basically implied that Ming was the culprit behind the revenge porn gate. However, Ming denied this and said that those photos and pictures that Kenya had aren't the same ones that she has. And she claims that she never shared or leaked the pictures that she has. Now, I'm wondering why she even has pictures or videos of Brit in her phone in the first place. That's very, very weird. I mean, the whole situation is a mess. It really is. And I did see that Kenya is going to come out and speak her piece. I am interested to know who gave her those explicit photos of Brit. It would actually be very interesting if it was one of the producers who gave it to her. That's a theory that I'm kind of considering right now because I remember what happened to the former castmate, Phaedra Parks. A source close to Phaedra Parks claimed that one of the producers on the show told her that Kandi Burruss and her husband Todd planned on drugging and taking advantage of Portia. And Phaedra spread this rumor, and Kandi was very upset about it, and Phaedra ended up getting fired because of it. And I wouldn't be surprised if Kenya was in this same predicament. I wouldn't be surprised if a producer gave Kenya those explicit photos of Brit and had those pictures blown up for her event just so they could create this chaotic scene for viewership. I wouldn't be surprised. But of course, they would have to find a fall guy, right? Just like Phaedra was the fall guy behind that whole lie gate against Kandi, Kenya is now the fall guy behind that whole revenge porn gate against Brit. And maybe this was the plan. Maybe Andy wanted Kenya to get set up so he could find a reason to get rid of her so he won't have to pay her. But these are just wild theories that aren't proven, so don't take them as fact. But it is something to think about. Anyway, tell me what you all think about this video down below. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video if you care. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.